The Dominic Carter Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Officials announcing 2 people were in the air traffic control tower at the time of the LaGuardia collision. Dominic Carter here with you. The number to reach us this hour, 800-848-9222. I am starting looking at my Twitter, at my X, at Dominic TV, at Dominic TV. Spudsy, in reference to the 18-year-old young lady who lost her life from our area, going to school in Chicago. An illegal has been arrested in that case. Spudsy, on my Twitter, on my X, made this comment, and it's a great observation. Have Democrats demanded to visit him in jail yet to ensure he is getting treated well? It's a great question. Democrats are going to line up on this one to go visit this savage in jail. The lovely Debbie Lobato says what Trump said about Mueller is going viral, but nothing about the 18-year-old that got shot. Wait, executed by an illegal. Why? Donna Marie in Philly says, beware if you have a city councilwoman who blames the victim for their own murder. Bless the soul of Sheridan Gorman. The only thing here in Chicago, it's called an older woman as opposed to a council member. But we got the point, Donna Marie, and it's an excellent point. Larry Fish says, and it's a point that I make all the time, that President Trump is always playing chess with these clowns in Congress. And he reposted something, Larry Fish, stating it's true the Democrats tried to protect illegals by defunding TSA, but ended up with ICE agents at airports checking immigration status. 800-848-9222. It took several long days, but the death of this 18-year-old young lady, a freshman. 2 months from now, she should have been happy completing her freshman year. But it took several days, but her murder finally made national news.
In the U.S. tonight to the student from Loyola University, Chicago, who was shot and killed while walking with a group of her friends. A suspect tonight now charged in Homeland Security, now saying he's in the country illegally. Here's Rhiannon Alley.
It was a shocking crime. 18-year-old Sheridan Gorman, a freshman at Loyola University, Chicago, was shot to death while walking with friends at a lakeside park. Tonight, an undocumented immigrant from Venezuela has been charged with her murder.
Over at the beach on Pratt, 1045 West Pratt, we got a person shot, and it's a Loyola student.
Officials say at 1 a.m. Thursday morning, the group walked onto a pier when a masked suspect emerged dressed in black. As the group fled, Gorman was shot in the back.
You should not be worried about walking to the beach and not expect to just get killed like that.
DHS says 25-year-old Jose Medina entered the country illegally in 2023. Gorman's family from Westchester, New York, saying in a statement, this was a violent and preventable act. We are gravely disappointed by the policies and failures that allowed this individual to remain in a position to commit this crime. David, tonight the suspect has been hospitalized with tuberculosis and his first court appearance has been postponed. David?
Rhiannon Alley with us tonight. Rhiannon, thank you.
So, your telephone calls in a moment. What do you call a mayor that's a complete joke, that there's nothing good that you can say about this individual, that he's been an absolute disaster from the time he took office? I'm referring to the mayor of Chicago, Brandon Johnson. People of color. We've got a black mayor, another black mayor. How's that working out for you? He gave your money to the migrants. And now this clown, yes, the mayor, a clown. What does it cost to apologize? Do you have to pay somebody to issue an apology? I'm sure the lawyers tell you, be careful, Mr. Mayor, with the language because the family's going to sue. We're going to have to settle. But what does it cost to say, I'm sorry? I'm sorry. as the leader of this town, I'm sorry. What does it cost? Listen to Clown Mayor Johnson would not apologize for the policies that allowed this migrant to do what he did. Listen to how Clown Mayor dances around the question.
We're going to continue to pray for those victims.
Will you take this opportunity to apologize to Sheridan's parents for the policies that you have promoted that would directly cause her death? That suspect would not be in the city, would not be in the country, but for your policies. Will you take this opportunity to apologize?
Well, again, I believe that we're all grieving the loss of Sheridan and other folks who have lost their lives because of senseless violence. And let's just be very clear, between the Safety Act and the Welcoming City Ordinance, the Welcoming City Ordinance was passed 40 years ago by the first black mayor in the history of Chicago. And the Safety Act was passed under the governor, at that time, who was a Republican, Governor Rauner. Thank you for your questions.
So you will not apologize to Sheridan's parents? Hi, Mayor. No apologies. You have nothing to say to that.
Senseless violence. How about senseless clown mayor? How about that? How about that? Oh, we got a black mayor in Chicago, African-American mayor. How's that working out for everybody? 800-848-9222 on Fox News. On Fox News. It's horrible because this 18-year-old college freshman, this child, Sheridan Gorman, her name now goes down along with a long list.
Liberal policy number one. Medina entered the country illegally in May of 2023. President Biden was president. Liberal policy failure number two. June of 2023, he is arrested for shoplifting and yet released into the interior yet again. Number one, number two. And for those who say angel families are far and few, no, they are not. Let's just put up some of the pictures of these young women who are no longer with us. Rachel Morin, Jocelyn Nungary, all of their names, all of their pictures, you will see them here. And these are just 4 stories, all Biden administration policies.
Say her name, 18-year-old Sheridan Gorman from Westchester County. Let's start with your telephone calls. I mentioned her tweet earlier. Donna Marie in Philadelphia, line 4. What's on your mind, young lady?
Thank you for this opportunity. I have been in an uproar regarding Say Her Name, Sheridan Gorman, since yesterday. She was executed by an illegal with a gun that I hear is pretty much outlawed in the city of Chicago. Then, to make it worse, there's a position called an older woman position in Chicago.
Correct.
She states that Miss Gorman may have been at the wrong place at the wrong time, and that maybe the perpetrator was startled, yet had excellent aim, hitting her in the head. So this woman is trying to relinquish his responsibility for killing this woman. And then you have Governor Pritzker saying, I'm not sure I'm going to give him over to ICE because it's a sanctuary city. This is a complete travesty from start to finish.
Absolutely. And for Governor Pritzker and Mayor Johnson, I mean, 2 peas in a pod together. I don't know where these guys get their brains from. But it's absolutely horrible, Donna Marie. And you know they wouldn't have the same position if this young lady happened to be their daughter, their niece, someone related to them. Donna Marie, it's a very simple question. Help me out. I know everybody says Democrats do this to protect their base so they can stay in power. Why would you sell out the American people for illegals? Why would you do that?
I can only think for votes. That's why I think I have been so upset for the last 2 days. It just doesn't make any sense. And the work they're putting in to protect this man, who, by the way, is also in the hospital right now with tuberculosis, so he can't go to court. I mean, it's like all the stops are being pulled out to protect this man who destroyed a family. this past weekend.
Absolutely. Donna Marie, thank you for the wonderful call. Let's go to Ed, Asbury Park, New Jersey, line 1. Ed, what's going on?
Hi, Dom. Thank you for taking my call. I never thought Chicagoans could step lower than Lori Lightfoot, but this guy is abhorrent to the core.
Absolutely.
It is unbelievable.
I'll take Lori Lightfoot back tomorrow compared to this guy. Hey, Ed, and I didn't mean to cut you off. I want you to make your... Where do they get these guys from?
I don't know what they're thinking. Who's voting for these people?
Well, you already know who's voting for them. People that don't have much knowledge, and Ed, nobody wants to say it. I'll say it. Oh, we got a chance to elect a black mayor, an African-American mayor. One of us. He's one of us. No, he's not one of you. He's a complete fool. And it's dangerous and reckless. I mean, and even worse, Ed, when you think about it, I think he was a teacher at one point. I wouldn't want this guy to teach anything related to me. Ed, go right ahead, please.
No, real quick. I've seen a number of town hall meetings where a number of African American women and men stand up, and they just want this guy out of there. So
right,
I'm not so sure.
Now. They want him out now. Sort of like what we're dealing with in New York. Mom, Donnie. They want him out now, but he's here for the next 3.5 years. Ed, thank you for the wonderful call. Let's go to Renzo. Is it Renzo? Renzo. It's Staten Island, line 3. What's on your mind?
Hey, Dominic, 2 things quickly. One, my doctor gave me this steroid called Depo-Medrol back in the 90s. I had the worst allergies that anybody ever had. And every year I get a shot, and I'm literally allergy-free.
I'm listening. It's just, as I mentioned earlier, I haven't been to my allergy doctor in 8 months. I'm supposed to go once a week to get 2 shots in each arm. And they try and accommodate me. They know that I have 0 patience and very little time, so they take me right in. But oh man, it's just, I gotta get there, and so I feel your pain. I really do. Go right ahead, please.
Dominic, I don't have any pain. It's my general practitioner. I get 1 shot of Depo-Medrol every year in March, and I'm good for the whole year.
Well, that's wonderful to hear. Why didn't they just give me 1 shot for the whole year? Why do I have to come back every week? Now, part of it's my fault. Because I'll show up and then disappear for a couple of months, and they say, well, Mr. Carter, we're sorry, but you have to start back from scratch, and your body has to build up the resistance, increasing the thing slowly. Thank you for the telephone call. Time for a break. We are coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show. Entertaining and informative on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
And we are back. The number to reach me live this hour, 800-848-9222.
Dumb as AOC, no way, not me.
I think that,
AOC, she can't explain it. She overcomplicated. When asked where Venezuela is, the map rotates. She sounds like Kamala Word Salad Part 2. We don't understand, Bad Bunny. We don't understand you. You dumb as AOC, no way, not me.
So, AOC, I hope you run for president. Please, pretty please run, AOC, please. That clip I got from Instagram. The title, Are You As Dumb As AOC? You ran the, Carlos, what's the company that was going to set up in Long Island City? Amazon. You ran Amazon out of New York. That was your claim to fame, AOC, you and Bernie Sanders. Traveling in those private aircraft. You're a woman of the people. AOC, have you ever done anything, name one thing, just one, for your district, AOC? Oh, and then she says she grew up in the hood. Oh, I grew up in the hood. And then we found out that AOC grew up in Westchester. Are you as dumb as AOC? Dominic Carter here with you, folks. Let's go back to your telephone calls. Let's go to Peter, line 3 in Oyster Bay. Peter, what's on your mind?
Hey, Dominic, how are you? What I'd like to know is, I hear every day about Madami's an idiot, Ocasio's terrible, Hochul's a moron, Newsom this, Brandon this guy. They're all terrible, all these high-profile Democrats. What I can't understand is how come the Republican Party can't beat them.
Do you want the honest answer, or do you want me to be politically correct?
No,
can you handle? What did the guy say in the movie? You can't handle the truth, right? Do you want honest
I want
answer?
The truth. I can't handle the untruth.
Okay, all right. So then I'll give you the truth, the honest answer, because the Democrats know how to pimp the black community. It's as simple as that. It doesn't matter if they're white, black, Asian. They know how to go into the community talking that talk, telling people what they want to hear, and so it doesn't matter. And I'm talking about urban areas. You asked, when I say urban areas, Peter, I'm talking about areas in New York State where Democrats have done, very well because, it's a Democrat town. It's a blue town. And all they have to do is go in and talk that talk, and they're in like Flynn. It's as simple as that. I'll give you the final say, Peter. Go ahead.
I agree with that, and there's certainly plenty of evidence over the years that that's correct. But can't the Republican Party be aware of that and come up with some better strategy instead of just losing? I mean, for God's sakes, they act like that there's no way to beat them. They do nothing. They didn't even have a primary in the New York mayorship, and they knew that Curtis Lee Ward couldn't win.
I'm not going there.
Mr. 7%.
I'm not going there, Peter. 1001, 1002, 1003. I'm not going there. There's a reason why we have Mamdani as mayor. 1001, 1002, 1003. Mamdani had a lead blocker the entire campaign against Cuomo that cleared the field for him, that got on a debate stage, and it was 2 against 1 the entire time. And the first time we said, wait a minute, why is candidate number 3? Why is candidate number 3?
Mr. 7%.
Why is he not going after Mamdani? Then the second debate, we said, why is candidate number 3?
Mr. 7%.
Why is he not going after Mamdani? Now we know why. We're coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show. Entertaining and informative. On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
You let people stick a finger in your face and tell you you're no good. And when things got hard, you started looking for something to blame. Like a big shadow. Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. Now, if you know what you're worth, now go out and get what you're worth. But you gotta be willing to take the hits and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you want to be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that.
You go, Rocky. Dominic Carter back with you, but he's so right there, right? Life really is about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. No excuses. No excuses. No excuses. That mayor of Chicago. We want a black mayor. He's a black mayor. He's a black mayor. Well, you got him. Good luck with that. I'm looking at my Twitter at my ex. John Beckman says, Dominic TV question. Have you ever been to the dentist and received shots of Novocaine to the roof of your mouth? Well, I got 3 today and met Jesus 3 times. He exists. Believe me, he does exist. Thanks. So yes, John, I have received those shots to the mouth, right? And that's when I close my eyes and say, no, doctor. If I look, I'm getting up and walking out of here. I can't look at the needles. And then that's when I'll go 1001, 1002, 1003. But you know what? My pet peeve of the day happens to be, before we get back to your calls, So I'm on this new thing that checks my blood sugar, and it's called DEFCON G7, right? So I'm looking at my blood sugar right now. I'm not going to lie to you folks. I had a bag of chips. I get stressed out. Food is comfort. It is comfort. I didn't realize that until recently, right? And so my sugar right now is, and I know this is too much information, but we're family. We're family, and family can do this with each other. My sugar is 143, which is not bad. It's supposed to be 135. 143 is not bad, but here's why this thing drives me crazy. It says replace sensor. It expires in, it says time left in the grace period. So I'll get into a good sleep, and I'll turn this thing on vibrate or turn the sound down. And I don't know what it is with these apps, and this thing loud, ring, ring, ring. It'll wake me up after I had to play with Beyonce when I laid down for 20 minutes. And then finally I fell asleep with Beyonce standing there looking at me, and Beyonce, my cat, who's an old man now. And my wife said something the other day that Marilyn said something that kind of scared me, because Beyonce doesn't jump up on the couch as much as he used to. She said, well, maybe Beyonce is starting to get senile. He is an old man. Now, I didn't know that cats get senile. I didn't know that. But let's get serious for a second again. The murder of 18-year-old Sheridan Gorman. Her parents en route to Chicago right now. Can you imagine a trip like that? You're going to Chicago to ID the body of your 18-year-old daughter. I would imagine that falls on dad. You think dad's going to be the same after seeing that his daughter was shot in the head, the back of her head, by this savage that's in the hospital right now, tuberculosis or whatever he has? And the father is telling parents to hug your child, Congressman Mike Lawler appearing on Fox News discussing this case.
Congressman Mike Lawler represents the 17th District, which includes Westchester County, which is where Sheridan Gorman is from. Congressman Lawler, thank you for joining us today. Your thoughts on how this happened and your reaction in terms of this family's tremendous loss.
Well, thank you for having me, Martha, and thanks for covering this. It is a tragedy beyond measure and words. An 18-year-old girl tragically lost her life, a life that was fully in front of her because of policies that are disastrous to our country. As the family said, this is a failure of the system. A illegal immigrant was caught at the border and released into the United States of America. He was later arrested for committing a crime, shoplifting, only to be released back out onto the street. This is precisely why I and many of my colleagues supported the Laken Riley Act, so that these types of criminal offenses are taken seriously and that illegal immigrants are turned over to ICE. This is why immigration enforcement matters. This is why local jurisdictions refusing to cooperate, refusing to accept the detainer requests are wrong. This poor family has been devastated by tragedy. Tom, Jess, Maddie, our heart breaks for them and their family, and we will be there to support them every step of the way.
Absolutely horrible. 800-848-9222. I'm looking at my Twitter. Debbie Lebedo says the reason the Democrats get voted in blue cities because they want to keep the minorities on the system, plantation, and the Republicans want people to be responsible for themselves and have success in life. Amen to Debbie Lebedo. Frankie says here, it could be the most boring day in news history. They're never going to talk about someone being executed by an illegal. How did we get to this point? And I've told this story before, when I was still in television news, and I knew things were changing because we had a managing editor. He's no longer alive. And, he taught a class up at the Columbia Journalism Graduate School. And he just thought it was so remarkable. Now, they all live in the suburbs. He thought it was so remarkable that he came up with this policy. I kid you not, folks. He said, we're not going to describe black people as black anymore. Black suspects. We're not going to do it. Not going to do it. Not going to do it. Now, I'm from the hood, and I'm looking at him like, what are you smoking? Our new policy is if there's a suspect, we'll describe what he looks like, but you're not allowed to say black. You can't say black. No black. Can't say black anymore. You can't say African American. Can't do it. This is about 8 years ago, and he's no longer alive. Rest his soul. He thought that he had just cured cancer. Can't say black, can't say African American in describing the suspect. But yet every time there was a story in the hood, Dominic, we need you to go to the projects. Why do I gotta always go to the projects? Send somebody else. No. You bring a sensitivity to the story that we need you to do. So how did we get to this point? You know, if somebody commits a crime, it doesn't matter if you're black, yellow, orange, red suspect, 6'5", wearing blah, 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 blah. I kid you not. If you notice in most descriptions in television, they don't say the word African American anymore. So how you're supposed to describe, then we go from there to, the police are too good at doing their job. They're too good. We gotta get rid of the street crimes unit. They gotta go. Stopping too many black people. Well, excuse me, they're committing the crimes. No. That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The street crimes unit, they're stopping too many black suspects. It's gotta go. Excuse me, sir, the street crime unit, they're stopping based on the crime stats. No. 600,000 blacks have been stopped. It's gotta go. Now, nobody's rights should be violated. I'm not saying that someone's rights should be violated. But one of the most effective crime fighting tools that we had, you said, nope, we don't want it. Politics don't want it. We don't want it in Chicago. We'll continue to see black babies, a year old, shot in the head. It'll continue. Doesn't matter. We have a black mayor. It's so sad. It's almost laughable. Al, line 5, New Jersey. Al, what's on your mind?
Well, I'm a first-time caller, Dominic, and I just want to say God bless you for all you do. I pray for you and everybody with common sense every day.
Well, thank you. That's very kind of you to say, even though the Bears don't like me, Al. But go ahead. What's on your mind?
Well, that's all right. You have the guts to say what you want to say. And believe me, I have a lot of liberals around my neighborhood, and, they know I speak my mind, and I let them hear it. I'm not afraid to speak because without your freedom, you don't have anything. But the thing of it is, these Democrats are the cause of everything. Mondami, I remember when Elizabeth Warren was supporting him, and I know Bill O'Reilly calls her a knucklehead, and, he's being polite. But for a man to be allowed to destroy a city, I just don't understand how that's possible. People should vote for the person based on the fact that they know how to do the job, not because they're black, not because they're white,
Absolutely.
Not because they're a man, not because they're a woman.
You're correct.
Let me tell you something. I'm born and raised in Newark. I grew up in the Ironbound section of Newark, my whole family, and of course later on we moved. I went to Catholic school in Newark, Saint Blessed Sacrament, which is no longer there, South 10th Street and Clinton Avenue. When I graduated 8th grade, I was the only white kid in the class. But you know what? I got along with everybody. And the ones that wanted to be bullies, my black friends were the ones that stood up for me. Okay? Where we lived, everybody in the neighborhood, which was not too far from where I went to school, everybody was moving out because blacks was moving in. The only thing, my father was a World War II vet, and the only thing that he hated about anybody wasn't the color of their skin. If you were a liar or a thief, then he didn't want to know you. We used to have barbecues in our backyard, and he used to invite all of them. We used to have 40, 50 people in my backyard, all black. My father didn't look at them because of the color of their skin. He looked at them because they were human beings. All this BS with races, and I tell you, I'm getting a little worked up because I'm so sick of it, because this goes back when Obama was president. And this was talked about from other people, not from me. And I'm talking, that he was the one who got all this started. He disrespected the military, the veterans. There's veterans on the street that can't get nothing, but the illegals can get free medical. They can get free places to live. And I know there's guys, I know veterans, and they know guys that are on the street that can't even get an aspirin.
And it's horrible. Al, thank you for the wonderful call. Don't be a stranger. I want to hear from you in the future. The only thing, Al, that you said that I'll take issue with, Now and I'm being sarcastic, Al, you know Obama was the king of the world, the prince of the city. He could do no wrong. But this is the last black comment I'm going to make. America elected a black man president, and years after he's been president, you still have people walking around talking about racism after America elected a black president. And you go figure that one out for me. So I'm looking at my Twitter again at Dominic TV. Thomas says, I am wondering on how many parents are reevaluating their child going to college in New Jersey. Let's go to line 4. Excuse me, not New Jersey, Chicago. I was looking at the phone screen. Chicago. Let's go to Judith, line 4. What's on your mind, Judith?
Hi, Dominic. First of all, we are radio family for sure, but they are a couple of black sheep I could think of. But, okay, going further. You know, I have a very heavy heart, Dominic. I really do. I don't hear enough about it. I don't hear outrage about it. In Iran, there was a public execution of a beautiful, young, wonderful 19-year-old Olympic wrestler, champion wrestler for Iran. Why? What did he do to deserve to be hung, to be choked to death like that? It just illustrates to you and to anyone that Iran needs regime change. Talk about hope and change, okay? These people are desperate for it. And you know what? Not a word from Mandami or his anti-American evil wife, you know? And it's like people, you know what? People that are rooting for our enemies, when our president is a Democratic president and he's going into Iran for the purpose of not war, but unfortunately it takes a little bit of war to bring along peace. And what he's trying to do is bring peace to those people and peace to the freedom of the world with economic trade and normalcy and no more of these terrorists. But you know what? These people that are rooting for our enemies, they are traitors, Dominic. And the FBI, if anything, should arrest them or look into them and let them take it to the court.
Okay, hey, Judith, wait, just hold on for a second. I want you to hold on for the break. I see Russ from White Plains is on the line. I've got to take a break. I'm going to bring both of you back live. And as far as you know, what you said and what others, you know, what should be mentioned, and you mentioned Mom Donnie's wife. You know, I tried to warn you folks during the campaign. I said it's not normal for a candidate's wife to not be involved. I told you folks I could look at her and I saw the devil, and maybe I should put her in the same boat as
Mr. 7%.
It is time for a break. We are coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
And the Tunnel to Towers Foundation final thought of the day. You know, folks, there was a time in our country when, based on what happened in Chicago to this 18-year-old young lady with nothing but the world in front of her, a freshman from our area, there was a time when a politician would have to walk the plank for what happened in terms of this savage illegal charged with her murder. But politics are so bad in our country now, there's no accountability. There was a time when someone would have had to walk the plank for this. No, not at all. Let's go back to your telephone calls. I want to bring back Judith in Brooklyn and Russ in White Plains. You're both on live together. Russ, what's on your mind?
Well, Dominic, I wanted to ask about stop and frisk, and when the judge ordered Bloomberg and Ray Kelly to stop doing stop and frisk, that wasn't doing the city's work. That was doing unlawful things. But Judith, I really want to ask you about you, Liz, Gracie, and women of a certain age that develop a certain fever when talking to Dominic Carter, because I think you're really off the hook. Judith, I believe you have said that people who hold certain political beliefs should be deported. You asked me my religion and what party I'm in. I think you're a bad citizen. And, you know, I think that people who hold dual citizenships but don't put America first should be deported, and you should have to reapply for citizenship. How about that, Judith?
Well, how about this, Russ? I don't have dual citizenship, so you're a stupid fool to even assume that. When you say assume, you're an ass, okay? Now, you are a Marxist hypocrite, okay? You sit here in this country and you enjoy capitalism, sir. If you're a Marxist, instead of trying to change this constitutional country that wants freedom and that represents true freedom, take yourself to a Marxist country and enjoy yourself over there. But if you want to stay in this country, because I never meant for you to go out of this country, keep politics out of it. Do not become a political official, because I disagree with any political official that aligns themselves with communism, like Comrade Sanders, who you love. The two of you are a bunch of hypocrites, okay? That's for starters, okay, Russell? And I want to tell you something. Let me just tell you, I know you're anti-Israel. Check this out, okay? Muhammad Islam was born 1,000 years later after the Western Wall Temple, the remaining temple that's in Israel, in Jerusalem, where the temple was worshipped by Jewish people, is right now 2,378 years old. And Muhammad was born 1,000 years later. Islam wasn't even there to begin with. And your Marxist nonsense, going according to Karl Marx, why don't you look into Karl Marx? And by the way...
Okay, wait, Judith. We have to let him respond. A quick response. Go right ahead, Russ.
Judith, I know you're an ethno-supremacist and you see everything through religion and you want Israel to expand. But I'm telling you, Marco Rubio said it. Israel forced us into this war and you can deny it as long as you want. But when you call me names, I know you've lost the argument already, Judith. And you should take a breath and let someone else talk for a change, okay?
Judith?
That calls names. You're the one that called names for me, mister, and I don't give a flying flip about you call names, because it's got to do with who calls names what. It's coming from you. I am not interested, okay? You're a nobody as far as I'm concerned. Okay.
Well, Judith, thank you. Don't get yourself all upset. Thank you, Russ, for the call. Let me go to William in Central Jersey. Quickly, William, we're running out of time. Go ahead, please.
Dominic, real quick, I just want you to kind of try to let go of Mr. 7% because it's destroying the sunlight of the spirit, man. You're a good person.
Right. The sunlight of the spirit. We're stuck with Mamdani because your candidate sold us all out. Your candidate went around talking about me like a dog. You don't know half the story. Your candidate claimed that he was the reason for my success when he had absolutely nothing to do with it. He's a complete joke. Him and his wife. Born from the tragedy of 9/11, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation has been honoring America's heroes. T2T.org. I'm back live at midnight.
Thanks for listening to The Dominic Carter Show. You can hear The Dominic Carter Show weekdays at 3 p.m. and Monday through Thursday at midnight and Sunday starting at 11 p.m. on 77 WABC. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?